When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground,
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another hot week of ALG action, and this is day 2. Coming at you is going to be the prime duo from last year, back in action for tonight. Might be the first night, might only be the only night. We'll see how things roll, but thank you, Connie, for jumping on in. Folks, let's see some hashtag ConnieEU up in the chat. Let's go.
There's no need for that, Chase. I know it's a welcome back and stuff, but man, it's been a while. Last time we were actually in action together was probably on Violence and ADS and the Grand Finals last year. That's, of course, I'm getting completely wrong, but I remember that. That series was eventful and definitely one to watch. Would say, though, it's nice to be back on the microphone, back in the booth, and who have we got today, might I ask?
Well, we have ourselves a very spicy matchup of Kings Grant Killers, a team that is undefeated in Group B up against Divided We Fall, a team that lost to ADS Gaming in their opening week on stream, but were able to come out with a win off stream to tie up their record at 101 going into this week.
Well, sounds interesting to me, but as far as things are going, I remember the rosters from last year. Remember KGK last year were not as successful as they are now. Going to it as a great start to any team in round robin pool play. But yeah, last year was very interesting for them. I'm pretty sure they went winless in the pools. If I'm not too wrong, Chase.
Yeah, unfortunately, KGK did not fare very well. Same with the likes of 302, who had I believe that one player Creamy or something who went 4 in 26. That one map, that was the meme meme of the year, I think, had to be 4 in 26. Those of you that remember that, let's see some of those 4 and 6s in chat, and maybe even some hashtag Rip Creamies.
Well, hopefully he's got good at this game, Chase. As many players have this game gotten good for some reason. So we're gonna keep that vibe on check always. But yeah, that was something special. Nonetheless, though, getting into the action, Chase, do we have any maps in particular to look out for this series?
We do actually have this series. We have the maps of. I'm just trying to get the map set up here in front of you guys. Unfortunately, our transition doesn't seem to be working very well, but nonetheless, the maps are in front of you guys. We have Garrison to start things off. Then we go into Moscow S&D for map 2. Map 3, which we're guaranteed is going to be that raid. And then if we do see an extension to 4 or 5 here, which I might believe we could see one, we would be seeing double raid. So after control raid, that's just foreshadowing potentially what might follow on raid itself. Now, Connie, hearing about the maps and the modes and the combination of the two, what are your thoughts? What maybe do you got a certain style of team that maybe might look like they might be able to come out on top here? Are we looking at a top AR team, an even sort of all-around team, or more of a sub-tier team taking an advantage in this series?
The map selection alone is solid. Garrison Moscow Triple Raid is, well, music to my ears when you repeat those things over and over to me again and again and again. Garrison and Raid always favors the sub players. I'm not sure if you know, but currently in Europe we have G8 the XM4. In America, that is not applicable. Well, not applicable. So we're going to be seeing a lot of fast-paced ARs and sub players sort of dominate the map. The main ARs have been sort of foreshadowed as sort of holding down and being concrete in the lanes where you need to be concrete. I would say the Garrison, you're going to be seeing a lot of subs, a lot of pressure through the mid. Top control is going to be a priority if you want to really gain leverage over players. Stringing P1 and 2 to get a 100-point lead is everyone's dream. But as far as the skill level, we'll see. KGK are 2-0 and really turned it around this season. Then I don't see why not. We're going to be seeing them dominate map 1 and map 2 and map 3 and take it 3-0. But that was my prediction at the start, Chase, if I'm not too wrong.
Yeah, no, for sure. With the Kings Grant Killers, top of the teams here, one of the top teams in their group, respectively, definitely could see them taking an advantage in this one. If they do match up with how you kind of outline these maps to kind of play out and who's in favor of them. Now, KGK, a team both me and you are very familiar with, and we're more familiar with them, more so the organization, than a lot of others that have cast it on the desks here at ALG. And why might that be, Connie?
Because I played for them.
I could say the same as well.
In fairness, I still have my jersey that they sent me, especially after that unforgettable series. That Gun Runner domination should have gone longer, but unfortunately I was sent to the gulag and couldn't play that. So it's all fun and games. But I mean, like that situation, I think they've got on to do very well to break things off. But I don't know. It's been a real lackluster. What are the teams that are currently undefeated in this league? Because I'm pretty sure it's quite a high amount at the moment.
Well,
doors, obviously.
It isn't as high as it was before yesterday. So we had 3 teams in Group A that were undefeated at 2-0 records going into this week, and in Group B we had only 2 teams that were undefeated going into week 2. So with 5 teams that were undefeated, unfortunately after yesterday's action, we had to say goodbye to an unbeaten streak for one team in particular, and that was in the ADS Gaming versus trying to remember this one real quick. How could I not remember this? ADS Gaming versus Hi-Fi, the absolutely epic 5-map series that went map 1 250 to 163 for ADS Gaming. Then ADS Gaming got reverse swept in the Search and Destroy, being up 5-1, bottling it to 6-5 finish for Hi-Fi to win. The underdog team as well, might I add. The underdog team comes back again, wins a really close 3-2 in the control, and then at the brinks of potential defeat for ADS Gaming to the hands of Hi-Fi, they sneak out the hard point on map 4, 250 to 249, and then they bring us to a very one-sided, once again, Search and Destroy, but this time it's the closeout that we see from ADS Gaming. It goes 6-2 in favor of them. And a ton of people think that things might have been a bit scripted yesterday with some of the action. And the other game got kind of cut off with some stream issues that happened, but nonetheless, that happened. Me and you last year with ALG stream issues, they happen, they turn up, and we will be
the first day of ALG went really unscripted. We were like 3 hours late. Just nothing went to plan, and then after that, it just we found our groove and sort of figured it out. But yeah, it was definitely rough to start with. But then again, if you go to the grand finals as well, there was controversy leading up to that as well, because Violence and ADS obviously had a bit of internal beef, dropping players, picking up certain players, new players coming into grand finals and showcasing extreme talent that I've never really seen before in my life. So it's definitely one to watch out for. But listen, if ADS have been that good for so long, them getting defeated is kind of a shock. But KGK reversing it around and doing well this season is something that we love to see as commentators and as viewers. But really, what is going to be the first map? The Garrison Hardpoint, Chase?
Yeah.
Take it away.
We're going to be jumping into that Garrison Hardpoint in just 1 second, folks. And those of you guys at home, if you haven't already, make sure to drop your hashtags for your team. Support them. Let's see who is being represented more in chat, as me and Connie are bringing you guys straight into the action here that's about to unfold in front of us. Between these two hot and heavy hitters, we have Team KGK on the left, we have Divided We Fall on the right, and Connie, the brakes on Garrison right off the get-go. What are your thoughts there?
Pretty good so far. Elzora right now going to try and maintain some control in, of course, top green. But Stay Chill, a star from last season, again is trying to just re-establish himself as one of the greatest players in this league. And with a little two-piece there, he certainly is finding some form off the rip. But then again, the gunfights right now really have to just come down to how well is your P2 setup going to be. Right now, Team KGK are going to take over some really, really strong control off of that P1, but with Divided We Fall players spawning in the favourable area, it's going to be, a bit of a slugfest, But then again, as Nick falls there off of P1, it's going to be very much a split cap going into the second set of rotations chase. But look at it right now, Divided We Fall have regained control, and the P2 looks like it is going to be theirs.
Yeah, right now they do have spawns that they were able to come off of, but all the aggression coming out of Team KGK early has definitely shocked quite a bit of these Divided We Fall players as well as their fans early on. But the shock, it seems not to have awed for much longer, as Divided We Fall able to grab the early time on that hill, and that's put them up in a little bit of a lead. But like I sort of expected going into the series, I'm expecting very back and forth action. These teams to take a map off of each other, at least one each. And right now, we're being given some really topsy-turvy action on this P2, as Tokyo really trying to work back here with this AK-74 Uzi behind the satellite truck to try to find a few kills. He's going to find one. He's going to be the last one left on the hill. He's going to need to find the second. Ooh. He will. Tokyo bringing it to Drift City here, and he's going to get himself the rest of that scrap time for his team, and the rotations are going to have to come through from KGK, and their rotation from Lights is a brutal one they have to trek through.
Well, certainly most MSI, as you see, well, Team KGK right now are going to push through Dark to try and get some control done, but Tokyo playing it really good there, getting scrap time and holding top green, forcing them to spawn all the way out into deep, but Team KGK rallying numbers, pushing straight for Ramo, and one there, of course, is going to win the gunfight. No, he doesn't. Hody there loses his life, but unfortunately, Divided We Fall, I'm not really watching the back here as well as we would like to see them do it, but again, it really is just going to come down to how much pressure these teams apply off the P3. Now, bear in mind, Divided We Fall have got a 60-point lead going into this. That means KGK have to soak time, but then again, you saw right there, the last gunfight was one. Divided We Fall have nothing from KGK all the way into P2. This is kind of a nightmare for KGK right now because they're not really getting much control done, you know. Nick, Clarity, and Smurf 5 got 15 kills between them, whereas Tokyo and Hoodie have got 20. You know, I mean, if you're looking really into in-depths, they're not really getting much pressure across the map. They're just sort of running into gunfights that they don't really need to take at this point in time. You just want to soak up as much time as possible, call out your next move, and try and establish these power positions right now. KGK, of course, are going to be getting that top green control, which is great for this P4. But number 8, Zetarius, is going to be watch right now. As well, Hoodie there gets a free piece. It's going to be a huge, huge kick in the nuts for Team KGK, Jace.
Yeah, Hoodie for sure. Comfort in plenty. Divided We Fall, not really, they haven't really been falling much after that first hill, as they've been just beating the side of Team KGK off the punch. Most of these hills, the rotations that we've been seeing from Divided We Fall have been absolutely divine, even though we might be speaking of divine a little early here, as they will be our second matchup of tonight. Nonetheless, divine action is being put in front of us by Divided We Fall, and I think they're really fitting in well with their name. They're seeming to stick together, and when they are stuck together like glue, they're very strong and they hold well together and stop most of these pushes and breaks you see out of Team KGK. And when they get divided up, Connie, just like their name suggests, they tend to fall. And I don't know what you're thinking about when it comes to the P5 on this map, but you know, what seems to be the best way of approach? Say for instance, Team KGK here with spawns. What do they need to do? What's the biggest and most important spot to hold outside of the hill?
Get into that hill and get through to P1. I mean, that's all I can say, really. I mean, Bridge obviously is going to be a great spot for the ARs right now, just to sort of spawn, kill, and trap. But what you saw there from Divided We Fall was two players pushing forward onto crates, into bricks, and just getting Team KGK in the back. I mean, if you can beat pressure on that and just keep them there, you can have one person on scrap tile and just sort of keep things, you know, flowing. But you need to sort of be looking into the next 20-40 seconds of the P5 into the P1, because right now Divided We Fall are going to be spawning out. No splits just yet, but we should be getting some splits in the next few kills, because KGK aren't really blocking anything. They're just sort of pushing through, holding mid. I mean, that's great and all, but you need to kill Tokyo right now, and Tokyo is just going to be in that top green and just going to be keep gunning you. I mean, KGK need to really push through here, keep some control done. But Clarity there finds a kill, and it's going to be an initial there for KGK, Jace.
Yeah, initial time comes in, and well, Divided We Fall, they are going to be able to put something together to try to get back onto this hill, but it's just a cat and mouse situation. I feel like Team KGK, they're definitely the cat here. They're the predator, and Team Divided We Fall, they're looking more like prey in these last two hills, as KGK have come alive, coming off of the player we mentioned and highlighted before, Stay Chill, one of the standout players, if not the top dog in the league, one of the top dogs in the league, at least for this, at least with the KD that he would accrue for the matches he was in. Team KGK Stay Chill, one of the strongest players in the league last year. Notably on not so strong of a team, and the other 3 players on this roster were sort of brought in, I believe, to kind of build around him, and Clarity making his presence known on this team, not just on this map currently, but also in their last series on stream. He's also the second player to really watch on this team. And over with Divided We Fall Tokyo, he was the man that was on a mission for his team in their first matchup against AES Gaming. He brought us some really nice highlight plays, and right now he's not really hitting the mark the way he was before. He has a great look. He's 17 and 15, but he could be doing better for his team. Hoodie, the man I'm thinking has really stepped it up since the last time we saw him. And in the background, Smurfry going to get himself 2 kills off the hill, and in the hill is going to be Team KGK for the 18 seconds remaining. And it looks like they actually have a comfortable spot right now when it comes to rotation as well. But Nick, just as I was talking about Comfort, he's going to have to win these 2 gunfights he gets into back there, and Comfort gets thrown away, the pillow ripped to shreds, and Team KGK find themselves now on the opposite side of the hill than what they wanted to.
Honestly, Divided Before playing a very different game to KGK right now. KGK are just sort of playing for 3 hits and hoping that they all get the hill. Divided Before literally splitting in 2s, rotating early, just sort of getting a bit of presence, you know. Not even to the point where they're winning gunfights, but literally just keeping them back. And by doing that, you're just pressing up, getting more control of the areas that they're going to push through, and just spawn them out lights, really, which is what they're doing now. They'll be spawning out deep into P5. Team KGK literally have got to sprint across the map to try and get some control. Tokyo just playing his life round here across Generator. And again, look at that right there. 40 seconds in favor of Divided We Fall, and it's taken KGK that much time to even try and get onto the hill. But even if you look at it right now, Divided We Fall literally just have to say to themselves, okay, listen, we've got 40 seconds there. P5 is going to be in our favor. Try and win it off the next P1 and P2 chase.
Yeah, they have presence over at Floating Tank. Well, mostly the top green, which I think both of us could agree is just one of the strongest points, if not the strongest point of this hill. And getting a player inside top green it's practically instrumental for success here. And Stay Chill will take out the player on Divided We Fall that was up there, and that's going to create a hole, a pocket in the defense, so to speak. The players of Team KGK can make it into the real estate of this hill, and they started parking the bus for the moment. And that's going to give Divided We Fall an opportunity to jump onto that hill and try to set up a break, and well, Team KGK, they divide themselves up a bit, divide up the players of Divided We Fall, and knock them down like dominoes. Team KGK back in the mix here, gonna be able to get themselves their first lead in the map in quite some time, and that's big.
Well, again, Chase, the score,
score is no longer.
I love that from you, my son. But I was going to say the score is just flip-flopping right now. We're seeing 40-point leads cut down to 0 because either team doesn't want to play for scrap, or they're just sort of, pushing through and expecting to win gunfights, 1v3 gunfights, like you said before in the P3 we saw with Nick and that. But again, Divided We Fall right now, they're still going to try and play around pressure because TKHK are going to get the initial right now. It's going to be a real hellhole for them. They must call out the spawns in deep, and they must pre-aim because all Zora's got to do is push through bricks, win the gunfight here on Smurf, and immediately going to be seeing Divided We Fall take, well, again, more coverage. Well, right now, we are going to be seeing a lot of
you can't miss
head
those.
to head. You can't. But again, Divided We Fall got 4 dead there in the feed. We are going to be seeing Zora right now just play around archers, 2 in hill. Great little setup here, but again, the P1 is going for KGK. And what is important to note is that Divided We Fall only need 1 more hill to win the game, and that is going to be alarm bells for KGK.
Yeah, well, I personally want to say that alarm bells were already ringing for KGK because they, since the beginning, they just haven't been on that rotation game. They have been finding next to no success. I don't think that they've really given much thought or even given priority to rotating for these hills because it's just all been Divided We Fall, getting that initial time, and that initial time has been really what's been burning a hole in Team KGK's pocket, alongside, the underwhelming performances you're seeing from Nick and Smurferi who are both dropping neg to double neg in when you look at their KD, and that's got to be a big telltale sign.
Really, Chase. I'm worried about Stay Chill, who of course has got a 40 bomb right there, but when you're playing top green with a sub, you sort of need to be pressuring a little bit more on the right side because Divided before are going to split through, as you see right there. A guy runs through all the way from P2, and they're really just going to try and keep you out of that. Although a great little bit of scrap there. It's going to be a very scrappy P2 though. Anybody's seen KGK right now getting the close spawns. Divided before sorting out in tools. It's going to come to all these 1v1 gunfights right now, but Clarity again trying to get a guy down on bridge. Divided before have stacked onto the hill, but right now it comes brick push. Stay chill. Video first man on the feed finds the kill. 2 dead right there, and it's gonna be one man pushing through, and Hoodie right there is gonna take him down on side. But now Last Gun Radio. Stay chill needs to control it. He wins another huge gunfight. 45 kills for 46. I'm not sure how that exists, but he's done it again. KGK full control. Players now are going to flip out though because there's nobody there blocking the back. So now it comes down to one final hit there from Divided We Fall to try and break through. 8 points on their side, but KGK have full control. Stay chill on a 5 spree. Is going to see Hungry, but he loses the gunfight there. But now Clarity, last dive in hill. He's going to take it down again. Nick trying to find one gunfights there, but no. Unfortunately, KGK are going to be swept out. But no, Smurfy wins the gunfight. Azar wins the gunfight. What am I seeing here? I'm seeing about one trade after another. I thought this was uncomfortable right now, but Stay Chill 47 and 26. He, of course, is not going to get it, and I do believe this last gunfight here is important. Boom. Dunzo. Is it going to count? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Nobody won the patient before. Won the P3. So I'm making my own words. I've said about 40 engagements in the space of 20 seconds. You got to just count it there, but Stay Chill tried his best there, but unfortunately, it didn't come to prevail as P2 and P3 was in the hands, clearly, of Divided before.
I don't think I could have said anything better myself. And Connie, if that wasn't a moment I shouldn't be thanking you for, well, thank you, Connie. Thank you once again for coming by once again, Connie, as your presence has graced us with some awesome commentary in that awesome moment at the end of the map. And Garrison and Garrison Hardpoint. It's a scrappy one. It's all rotations, like most hard points, that matter the most. And in that moment and throughout that map, the rotations just weren't there. Sure, you know, you could have 1 to 2 players slaying out hard for your team over with KGK, but that doesn't help when you have 2 players with bad KDs, you don't have good map presence, and rotations just aren't there. The OBJ, who's playing OBJ for your team?
You don't have OBJ for your team. You just need to have a mutual understanding of when to get the hill and when to just sort of stack it and just to split. I mean, you still Stay Chill right there, got a 50 bomb on the stream, which of course is great, but there should have been times really where you should be a bit closer. But yeah, the kill who actually helped a lot with the pressure that Divided before put onto him. So really, it's just a case of timing these engagements and when you want to sort of really get the hills down to a T. Nick again started off pretty slow. The AR 18 was the scoreboard that I checked on. But again, Divided before had players that weren't doing too great either. He had like 2 players in the form of Hoodie and Tokyo or Frime, but the other 2 were just sort of picking up scrap time. And that's where you see them take little 40-point, 50-point leads. Because if somebody's popping off, you let them pop off. But rein them in when it's time to rein them in, because you've got another hill to take over. And that really is that mentality of resetting yourself over and over and over again from times where you're going to get absolutely cracked. And these players got absolutely cracked across the map, but resetting is just as important sometimes. Speaking
about resetting, this next map, it's going to be Moscow. The next mode's going to be Search and Destroy. Completely different story. It's not a respawn-based game type. And for the side of KGK, who are down right now, 1 map in the series, they need to reset and get ready for the Search and Destroy and not let that hard point phase them too much going into it. What seeing you working with SNG, it's been a real pleasure to see what they've been able to put into play in the European Challenger scene and what they've been able to do thus far. And obviously, they've been in scenarios where they've been down after losing map 1. What kind of goes into your head when you talk with the boys sometimes in those situations, or even you yourself when you play? What do you have to do when you talk to your teammates to really get them going again, get some positivity flowing in the group? Going into the next map after losing the first.
Have a great IGL.
What do you say?
Coach. Well, what do I say?
What do you do? Yeah.
Well, it's very different. All scenarios are different, but ideally you want to take it 1 map at a time. if you're any team, take it one map at a time. If you go down one map, you just go, hey, we're taking this map, right? 1-1, resetting it right now, okay? It's sort of that mental reset that you need to just sort of take the first 3 rounds off of somebody in an S&D. Moscow is a big map. It is also a map where you can value your slow plays and value how you want to sort of approach bomb sites. Unlike Raid, unlike Garrison, you just have more time to do what you want to do. But it can be more nerve-wracking for sub players playing Moscow because of the stuff you have to watch with sub. And the ARs coming up against more than likely win the gunfights because of how wide open the street lane is. You've also got to worry about single and double windows. You've also got to worry about the fact that a bomb site, literally everyone goes there and you have to win your first gunfight to win the bomb site. So really just take it as it comes.
It's
There's
great
no
that
valuing
you
anything
it's
other
great
than
that you
life.
mentioned that, actually, because that was another follow-up I was going to say was historically, you know, a bomb site seems to be the one that a lot of offenses tend to go to. It's definitely over 50%, probably over 60% of teams, maybe even around that 70% to 80%. You know, are you expecting that to stay true when you look at lower tier amateur competition? Are you expecting it to be a bomb site pretty much every single time, as we are seeing it right away in the start of this one, folks? We are going to see this out of Team KGK go through it. But Connie, what are your thoughts on? Oh wow, we're going to have the map restart, unfortunately there. Well, yeah, it gives you time to answer my question then. What are your thoughts on A bomb site? You know, do you think these guys are just going to be hitting it all day long, or do you think B is going to be
if you want the rounds to go if you want the rounds to go quick, then I'll just say hit A over and over and over again. But again, we're seeing many variations, many different things in the game that are sort of changing every single day. With the fact that we have the major going on right now, Chase, you'll be learning even more because the pro teams are seeing completely different stuff that we are seeing. You know, this is what we're doing. But Moscow, one quick round, go away.
Yeah, and now for you and me, we love to predict our search and destroys, and those of you guys in chat, I hope you guys would like to predict the search and destroy as well with us. Connie, what's your prediction for this one?
My prediction for this one probably is going to be, I don't know. I'll say after the first 3 rounds. I'll call it after the first 3 rounds. I think that's a very valid, very, very valid. I'm not going to give you like a 6-0 straight away. All right, you can clip it if it is a 6-0, but you know, I've got to see what these guys do.
Okay,
so far.
Okay, so I guess we're going to stay unpredicting here, and fortunate, Connie gonna choose to stay on the fence. We'll see how long he holds up. If it's too painful, he has to get off quicker than usual, or if he'll be able to stay on that picket fence for long enough. As we're jumping into the action here, Clarity gonna die off, and Divided We Fall start the search and destroy off the same way they ended the last map, in what is success and you know, high spirits. They're gonna get themselves the opening round. And Connie, what do you think about how the dominoes kind of fell in that situation and how they played that one?
I don't know why KGK did the exact same break. when Divided We Fall saw all of them hit A, they all decided, no, we'll just do it again and see what happens. But again, Zatorius with the great play there to actually pinch from mid. I really rate that. But again, you're going to be seeing even more valuation here. Divided We Fall now going to opt to go for a B rush here, which is very, very interesting. Smurfette has the information though, so he should come that straight away. Now, bomb going down here isn't even a bad thing right now, but unfortunately, a trade's going to go out 3v3. You've of course got a 2-man here. Hoodie wins the gunfight, and Nick is left all alone on A, wondering what's going on. Where are my teammates?
Yeah, and it's going to be a 2 versus 3. And right now, the bomb will get planted for free as well over at B, but man number 1, that's going to be Stay Chill, in a spot to get one of the players and even out the life disparity on the map. Now, Nick, playing with the AR, he's going to have to be mindful of the player up top, Police Depot here.
But does he know he's there?
He's going to cross.
Does he know he's there?
He does now as he hops down. And it's going to be like a wrestling move from the top rope. He'll be able to take down him, and Stay Chill going to spot one peeking in the doorway. The man that has put on a clinic for the side of Team KGK time and time again, unfortunately not able to win the 1 versus 2 like a CDL Pro might have. And, well, Hoodie gonna get that last kill here on the very lit and one-shot Stay Chill. And Divided We Fall are able to grab an offense and a defense, showing proficiency on both sides of the coin. Now
Let's see
going into
KGK go to A again. I really want to point out to you, if they go to A again, let's see how they play it differently this time, because you just saw literally them get put straight away in a 2v3 situation,
Oh,
which
look at it.
on A is very rare, very rare. But I'm happy to see that Nick is now going to be playing mid info right now. Zaturius is going to run it. Was Zaturations is his name? Sorry, he's going to play a hoodie here with a huge flank. Great play from Hoodie.
Oh!
Hey, a wonderful brick play there from Hoodie to get 3 dead. But again, it's just Nick alone in the 1v4, and I don't really value much here, other than the fact that, of course, they're just going to toy with him. It's now become a mental game right now. If you're going to go 0-3 down and they're literally wiping your team, I don't know. It's a real risk. But look, Nick is pressed. He cannot move anywhere other than stay in gold. And I think he's just going to opt to trap the B here. I don't think the before going to check it, but then again, number 5 Tokyo, we'll see him if he does pick this corner. He does. But look at the wing. He won the gunfight.
The first guy he kills, he says, "Don't ego me. I know you're there." The second guy he kills, right beside the tree, he just narrowly escapes. Doesn't even notice the other players standing next to the tree in cover. And now he has to go across the map to the bomb. But unlike EU, NA has a different way of playing competitive in rule sets, and they do play for streaks. And well, it is Search and Destroy, where you'll probably not see playing for streaks happen too often. Nick is, it looks like, not going to be playing for the streaks. I don't think the streaks are even set up correctly.
Nick
Connie,
could have planted it.
Yeah.
Oh no. Ah. Nick could have made the play there, in fairness. Oh, you hate to see that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, well, obviously, Nick got a great 2 kills there. I was right at 35 seconds. The bomb's on the other side of the map, and these guys are literally playing for it. He literally just slow jiggled it every single time. But again, Hoodie with the huge 3 here. You can't be letting Vitamin 4 pull your pants down like that, Chase. That's free right there. Free.
Man, freer than the Wi-Fi at a Tim Hortons. That's what I would say in Canada. And, well, divided we fall. They're looking like a very strong team, a lot better. I want to praise them a lot on how much better they're looking in this matchup than how they looked in their opening week, their debut against the team of ADS Gaming. And well, it could just be, you know, the factor of a Titan versus a Titan, and, you know, just maybe a bigger Titan was ADS Gaming, and that's how it ended. Or Divided We Fall might have had, just, we caught them on an off day, but today they're firing on all cylinders, and it's not looking like an off day. Their stuff is definitely on, and Zaturations, he is gonna have to be on one nicely to get a 1 versus 2 to go his way here, as he's gonna be able to grab 1. And well, him and his teammates have been riding a wave of success coming over from the hard point. It hasn't stopped at all within the last 3 rounds of this Search and Destroy. I've got high hopes, and I'm feeling that high energy that Divided We Fall can get Zaturations across the board here with the 1 versus 2. But Connie, this player from Team KGK, if he checks the bomb at the right time here, he could get the win.
I think he's going to get it regardless right now. I mean, obviously, the retake there is very hard. It's a very hard retake. You've got Nick there with an AR, and he knows exactly bombs down there. So, you know, he played it right there. He sort of watched the pinch in case he ran through. But, I mean, the fact that both these ARs played each other literally out the gate on 1v1 was quite funny in itself.
Yeah, and once again, KGK given an offense, and I think we both could probably put $50 down that it's going to be an A hit and make our money, double our money here.
All right, let's see. Oh.
And
wow, I think it's going to be an A hit. Imagine it's swinging to B right now. What a waste of my time. Absolute joke.
There we go. Ray, can I get a double down on my $50 bet on my $50 bet bit?
Got a debt, Christ. I think if he won that one, Christ almighty. Again, those saturations, just going to find info there. It's going to be 2 dead now on KGK. Nick and Smurf are just sort of left alone. Smurf here watching the pinch from L. But look at the red arrow surrounding Smurf. He's still alive. I'm baffled to myself. But again, very brave shout from him. And Nick is probably going to be stuck in that 1v4. And if he wins this 1v4, I think that's in itself going to be really impressive for KGK. But it really comes down to how well you juggle. But Nick there wins the first gunfight. Hoodie now to be really hungry. You might shout him here. Great position from Hoodie there to actually watch the wide. But again, Nick is just left alone again. I'm pretty sure Bomb is still down on A. The retake is going to be so hard for Nick. He literally has to check every single corner and pray to God that he actually ends a gunfight that he can win. But again, playing it slow, playing it passive in 1v4, difficult. With 1v4, literally know you're going to be mid and just absolutely gun you like that. Jeez, I mean, now is the time for you to predict that the Divided We Fall might take this to a 2-0.
Well, I don't think it's a prediction here now. Like, It's really
you can't.
it's more of an educated guess. It's not really a prediction. A
Yeah.
prediction is something that happens before anything really comes. It really comes to the table. We're predicting mid series here, mid map.
I said after 3, but I'm a little bit late to make sure.
Yeah, you know, I want to make sure my prediction's
sure
very
you got
right.
that.
You know, like
Yeah, you're not gonna guess it. I mean, you just gotta know. But then again, a great B rush here coming from before. The info is gonna be huge. Smurf now knows there's players around, but they don't know Smurf is there. Well, the hoodie regged him. Okay, right. So now you're about to watch the greatest retake of all time. You're gonna be seeing KGK and the Value Fall literally race it to the B bomb site. Again, no players up to the flood mid there. Very interesting. But again, we're gonna be seeing Clouty right now. Gonna be playing it. And Nick gets taken down. The Value Fall are literally hitting B rushes. KGK are not checking corners. The info is getting strangled right now. They're literally putting themselves. In
I'm getting strangled. This jersey around my neck. I feel like I might need to start taking it off soon. Just it's terrible.
I've been putting on the KGK jersey. It's got a loose collar, a great fit, and a comfortable aftertone. If you know what I mean.
For sure, but
Singularity jersey as well is a great fit as well. You can buy yours at raven.gg.
hey,
/SNG.
that advertisement right there was very shameless of you, Connie. But right now,
I love my job.
but right now, Divided We Fall, not playing shamelessly at all. Any of them die on the map, I feel like they feel like anybody on their team can really get their back. And everybody going positive on their team in terms of KD. Everybody on the side of Team KGK feeling woes except for Nick. But really? Is he really feeling happy? I don't think so. Getting put into 2 1 versus 4s, you know, sure, the first one ended up being down to 1 versus 2. And
Well, the blind counter
going down.
The blind counter again could have worked very well, but I mean, if you're gonna commit to a mid push, you gotta make sure you're getting to B. I mean, sending 2 up through P2 is very brave in itself, but stay chill for some reason. Left in a 1v1 situation. Now he's got to do is play info. No one knows he's there. Hoodie knows he's there. But
he got
just hit him with the Kobe Bryant. What have I just seen for a retake and a round and map to win? He literally stuck him from outside the court. Chase.
That was that right there. That stick gave me what's it called? That gave me memories of when I used to hit those shots in uplink. That's what I got.
Jace.
I got throwbacks to when I was able to hit some really fire jump shots with the ball in uplink. It was so crazy. And well, right here we see another map go the way of Team Divided We Fall, and KGK really backed up against a wall, and it's not a friendly one. Definitely is not a friendly wall like the green wall. This is one that they don't want to be anywhere near. And Team KGK, what do they need to bring to the table in this control? Like apart from obviously themselves and their fingers and their thumbs that they just haven't been able to put on display us apart from Stay Chill. Connie, what's the overall breakdown of how a control raid, if you want to win it, both offense and defense, what needs to be done?
Play your game. Let's say it again. Just play your game and play it well.
That's probably my favorite piece of analytical response that I've gotten from you here. One of the greatest, I quote, guys, one of the greatest analysts in the league right now. That's Connie. And I quote from Connie.
I mean, you can quote it and put it into where you like. I mean, literally, we'll just see what happens. I mean, raid control is fun for the subs. It's also fun when you take certain points and play certain points afterwards because people sort of get a bit scared. So let's just see what happens and see how well they can really form it. I kind of fancy KGK though a little bit on this one. I think if Nick can just sort of hold shit down with an AR, it'd be great because raid is pretty much just a cracked egg. You crack it open, you open it up, and you're just be seeing 3 lanes there, which literally everyone runs through. So just play that slow peak and chow when you need to kind of game, and you're gonna be good. Nick, that's for you there, brother.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the style of play they need to try to emulate, and they need to bring to the table is really highlighting that one player that has been coming up time and time again. And Nick doing a lot better than he did the opening week's performance. on stream, and well, when you look over at the side of Team Divided We Fall, is there any negatives you could? What are there any negatives you could look over at them and kind of look about at and chat? It's Connie, you cool there?
I'm all cool. I'm just checking Twitter right now because something popped up. But talking about Raid Control, talking about these two teams, right? Well, one thing particularly for Blue right now, Blue, sorry, I see the claim tags. One thing if you're KGK right now, you're 2 maps down, you want to hit the reverse sweep, right? Let's see mentally where you are after the first round, because the first round dictates everything in Control, especially after you're 2-0 down. If Divided We Fall take the first round, I can see this being a hot 3-0.
Really?
I'm not sure the energy levels are going to be there for KGK because you have to literally reset after going, losing a very close map 1 and getting 6-1 in an S&D.
Well, I got
Let's see how
faith.
professional you are.
I have faith in KGK once again. You know, and like every great reverse sweep that's ever happened in Call of Duty history, it has to start on their third map.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a very factual statement there from you, Chase. I'm proud of you on that one. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that myself, but I'm happy you said.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, you know, reverse sweeps. You know, it's, you have to win 3, and so you start it with the third one. I think I did the math right on that. Okay, good. Now, one of the greatest reverse sweeps we had the luxury of being able to witness happened actually. In the CDL, I believe last week with Dallas Empire reverse sweeping, what was it, the
New York
Subliners, and you got any thoughts on that reverse sweep there? And you know,
be fucking believable. It was a great match to watch overall. If you want to learn COD, just watch that map. Just watch the maps over and over and over again. And Clayster versus Crimson alone is a great storyline. Be literally looking at, you know, Clayster literally dominating for 2 maps. And then Dallas just hitting him with some serious power. I mean, Hugh was going off, shots was going off. Crimson was dictating pretty much every lane he could in that map. So you're seeing quite a lot of talent out of both teams showing on that whole series. If you're New York, you lose that, you don't even go down like bad. You don't even go down full stop because you lost to the reigning champions.
Yeah, exactly right. And the reigning champions ended up also reigning supreme in their group as well, topping it, going into the major with a bye. We won't be seeing them until, I believe, Friday at the earliest, or Friday itself.
And FaZe, isn't it?
Yeah, and FaZe as well. Today's matchups were quite interesting, and well, we are going to get things underway in just one moment. Let me get that map loaded in for the raid control, and those of you, both the players and obviously the people in chat, good hosts, the people we work with, that work with us to bring you these lobbies that teams 9 times out of 10 say are a lot more fairer, especially when you have teams that come from you know, Puerto Rico, where you wouldn't want to give them a host in that sense. So, you know, working better with the Dallas host that we got with Get Good. It's pretty sweet, pretty snazzy. And Team KGK, they're not doing too well, but this is where they have to get it going. They need to turn the gas on. And we're jumping straight into the action here on the map here. Divided We Fall on the right. Team KGK once again on the left. The best of 5 score is 2-0 for Divided We Fall. Unfortunately, I have it at 1-0. But Connie, right now, defense, offense, what do you got to do as KGK? They're on offense to start this one.
Well, KGK have got the favour right there. Offense is definitely favouring. This is the only map where you can actually win off offense and win it convincingly. That being, of course, Raid. However, looking at where they're going off the break, they're not really committing to a site. They're just sort of getting information, which sort of reminds me of S&D, you know. Although Control, you got to value your life more than Hardpoint, and you got to really, you know, win your kills and get your free pieces if you can to get pressure off and retake something. KGK just sort of are again letting the suppression get, but I'm loving the control here from Stage 2. He's got mid on lock, which is great, but he needs to commit now either an A pillars push or control money for B. And it looks like he's going for money for B, and he's going to just try and win some gunfights here. Again, another huge win there. And I do think, yep, okay, I like this. They're split ticking. They're going to stack A, sort of win gunfights off there, but Stage 2 could literally play this for a whole tick, but he's not playing for the tick. He's just playing for the spawn trap, I believe. Now they're going to be spawning either in court or close laundry. Stage 2 has won the split there, and okay. this is actually quite good from KGK. A nice sort of retake here, but you know, you have to commit to a site, and you saw three there go to A, one go to B. The tick wasn't even one on B yet until very, very late. I don't know really what to say, but you just have to sort of play very, very aggressive at this point now if you are Team KGK.
And Team KGK still have 2 players on the point. Real Estate still something that they could work with here. And they could potentially get the last tick through, but Stay Chill just too weak to be able to stay up there and keep his head above the water. As Team Divided We Fall are able to stop the bleeding over at B, but A will continue to bleed like a shot elk in a forest. And Clarity, they're going to be moving through from Laundry, and he's going to be moving through from Laundry along with his teammates here. And they're going to maybe look to put some pressure onto Jungle, and yeah, we're going to see Nick continue to try to win the gunfights over there. He's going to stun check to see if another player's there. Hoodie is going to be checked, and well, Hoodie, one of the players on the side of Divided We Fall that is looking pretty hot and warmed up throughout this series, not even just this map alone. And he's going to be a fierce competitor to deal with. And YouTube Stay Chill, the guy on the other side of things, Team KGK's Phenom is going to be able to get the kill on him and stay alive in Kitchen. What do you think, Connie? The time is ticking down. Can KGK do it?
KGK can certainly do it. They just got to really regroup and sort of pressure. But right now, way Divided before playing, they're retaking bedroom. Clarity of the body shot at 3 and 8, mate. You can't be shitting anybody. I mean, you lost a round right there. All right, that deserves to be a round loss. But you know, the retake could have been there. You just had to really group together, get away with kills and pressure it, if anything. But Divided We Fall look very, very strong at the moment. The way KGK have gone about the break and mid. The mid was really good. YouTube Stay Chill getting commanding the lanes and getting a great initial 2. You just have to really, you know, let Nick do something great here. And maybe Clarity can get some pressure as well, because we need these 2 ARs really to just sort of give it their all, if you know what I mean, for this defense.
Yeah, and here comes the defense. We're going to be looking at a bit of an aerial view here, and it's going to be a big split on the D. And the attention that the offense is giving is going to be all over at B. The flood through comes, and the gate is going to start to open, and B looks like it's ripe for the picking over in the orchard of Team KGK's defensive areas and responsibilities. Hoodie gonna hop up, gonna maybe catch Clarity, but he will be able to make it into safety in the kitchen. Maybe make himself a bit of a meal, a snack, something to regenerate that health. And Clarity gonna be working in the back of basketball, just can't ball with the bros of Divided We Fall, and he'll die there. Divided We Fall, they're grouped well around this B side, but they unfortunately won't be able to get that full B cap to come through, as one player still near money. Smurferai did not need to aggressive.
That's a wave of kills.
Did not need to get aggressive on that, and that is, just like you said, a wave of kills that is going all Divided We Fall's favor. And that was a tricky little thing that Elzora was doing on the edge of there.
Good. I like Elzora, what he's doing here, especially. Commanding top bedroom as well on this B is going to be very, very useful for your team right now, because Team KGK are literally going to be splitting their positions up. They're going to be literally dissecting the map at a very, very fast rate. So you can literally catch them on sprints, catch them on gunfights, and although they're going to win the first initials, it looks as though the Four are still going to be split taking. And literally with KGK, you need to prepare COD for the next minute, because all it takes is 6 seconds on either point, and you've lost the game.
Right now, you're seeing Team KGK's Stay Chill up at the top of his team, but I don't see it. Tokyo, Hoodie, Zaturations, all of them flying high. They know how we feel, and they know that we're feeling Team Divided We Fall, and they're looking like they're gonna impressively end the series off on a 3-0 control here, along with a 3-0 on the whole series, and put Team KGK out of an undefeated streak, and that's quite impressive.
It is quite impressive as well. I mean, Divided We Fall, of course, might have arguably had a very hard bracket off the break, but what you got to remember as well is that KGK themselves have impressive for the first 2 games. You have to as well remember that Divided We Fall have more or less been commanding a lot, but ultimately There are three factors in this game. That's going to be host, who you're playing against, and how you feel. Bless it.
I really don't know what else to really say when it comes to constructive criticism to Divided We Fall. Each of them have been playing very well around the points. The objective is definitely something they've been extremely mindful around, both protecting and aggressing towards and capturing. And now moving into this defense for Divided We Fall and offense for Team KGK. This is definitely not the side you want when you're down 2-0 in this map.
We're down 2-0 in this map right now. You need to just pressure and get caps. And right now, Team HK are going to commit to a great B hit here. Although we are going to be seeing something a little bit different from them. We are going to be seeing all three of them commit to the site. And Divided We Fall literally are now flabbergasted as to what has just happened. We've literally given KGK themselves a free hit. But now as kills come in, it's going to be slow trades. It's going to be very, very hard picks. But it looks like from life count, only 2 lives down. Divided We Fall right now, still holding down to B. Now going to be see some bodies over at A. It's just going to be like basically KGK. They're just splitting apart Divided We Fall's players and just trying to win 2v2 gunfights, Chase.
Yeah, and as a team, their team shotting was good over by A, and that's going to allow them to get 1 tick of progress if they all stay on, if those 2 stay on there, which they won't, and instead they'll just aggress forward. They could have seen potentially 2 ticks. In the end, we will see the second tick. Oh my gosh, it will come through. It will come through for Stay Chill.
It will come through, yeah? Okay.
And we will see Divided We Fall continue to keep a player on there to contest, and that's Saturations. So the tick did go through, the second one on A, but B now going to be the place of a Team KGK presence. And if that happens, those spawns out to Mansion, if you don't have a player by Mansion from Divided We Fall in the situation that they were in, you can't keep those spawns over by Weight Room. You can't keep them by Driveway, and that's going to be allowing the other team to sort of ping pong around to the other hill. And this split pressure, you made comment on it early on in this map and mode, that's a good thing to see out of any team on offense. The split pressure tends to be a great way at dividing the defense and helping create some positivity for the offense.
Positivity is a kind of a light word I'd use. I go more for the fact that you're just literally giving them the awful spawns to either side. And when you do that all the time, it's going to be quite fun. But if you Stay Chill really isn't blocking here, you're just sort of playing for spawn kills. I mean, it's all right, but I definitely would change positioning up a little bit. Playing out on 50% HP is definitely brave when you're against Divided We Fall. I mean, you've got literally Tokyo right now, 21 and 18, playing around some sort of objective, but Clarity really has had a bad map here, unfortunately. 7 and 23. Not really the best case scenario for KGK, but you got to say right now, 5 lives to 9, not entirely out the picture.
Yeah, right now the life differential is not in favor of Team KGK. They worked so hard to try to get it close, and well, right now they're down to 1 more tick needed at B, and they're gonna be praying here. They might even be spraying, and there we go. 2 players left. Stay Chill, not gonna get a lucky respawn here. Smurf one of the players you don't want to see with that life is going to get taken down. And 3-0 is going to be the way that we see this one end the series and the map. Divided We Fall. They were hungry. They wanted to eat today, and they definitely got to enjoy a nice meal. And, you know, KGK, they're going to be starved of being able to enjoy any map success. And we're going to be waiting to see them play off in their series next week when they get streamed once again. And Connie, thank you so much for once again joining us for a map and ultimately a series in the Masters League Season 2, Season 1 of Cold War, Season 2 if you're me and Connie, because this is my second time around working with these guys, and Connie coming back for a match in a new season of the Masters League. Based off of the performance you saw today out of Divided We Fall, and you know, maybe the lackluster performance you saw out of Kings Grant Killers, how would you which team do you want to go with in our reflection section?
KGK played very valiantly as well against Divided We Fall. But I think a lot of internal conversations need to be had with them about that series. Just stop to brush it off because next week you are going with a brand new mindset. So I quite like about the structure of this league is that you can take a week off just to reset yourselves and get used to it compared to tournament setting, which you reset the next day. Very hard for players of certain calibers. But Ray's giving you that ability to just go, you know what, next week I'm in better and get a better seat for playoffs because we all want to see everyone do well. Isn't that right?
Yeah, exactly right. And you yourself, you were working with SNG Singularity, who were in a league of their own that they dealt with, the EU Masters or EU Elite League, right?
EG, yeah, we're in the EG, I believe.
No, the EU Challengers Elite.
It's not a Masters.
I know, but I said
Challengers
elite.
Elite.
I said EU Elite. You know, like EU Challengers Elite. Sorry.
Yes.
They had to play that league that concluded the first first stage of it, or the first little season of it, chunk of it. And your team had league matches that they lost and won, and they ended up finishing off in that playoff section of it. Right. They were able to qualify for it first, and then had to play off in it. And now looking over at these guys who are in another league setting here, both with each of these teams have a win and a loss, or neither of them are undefeated. Looking over at King Grant Killers, I'll give you them the team. They're going to be your team that you're going to cover for this little reflection section here at the end of our matches here in the ALG League. Highlight a positive and negative, and even a key player on that team that you saw out of this series did a good job for their roster.
Negative, Calamity, shooting bodies at 3 and 9. You can't be doing that in any circumstance. I don't care. You can't be doing that, ever. Positive, though, Teamwork and Garrison. Stachel and Nick linked quite nicely to get a lot of coverage over the map. But again, you were solving points. We were literally 40 points down, and then you were 0 again. It's really taxing on your head when you go 40 and then go back to neutral, keep playing a deficit. You need to literally either hit a switch from P5 1 to 2, or just go, you know what, we'll just commit to one hill and just play around it, which is what you saw in the P2, really. But when you overcommit, you see again, you miss rotation, and that's how, in the end, you're seeing Divided We Fall take that map. It's all timing.
Yeah, and then I'll give a little bit of a reflection on Divided We Fall. Together, the team did a really good job in overall putting the objective first in a lot of their strategies when it came to the hard point, and just easily when it came to the control. Well, actually, I would say they probably took their foot off the gas, seeing as they saw that they were super comfortable, 2 up in the series, that they started to chase and play for a few kills there, play for the match to be decided more off of running out the lives rather than running out the time. And but in that hard point, very beautifully played out when it came down to objective play. I would probably say for them, if they were to match up against ADS Gaming or Dawn of Chaos in the other group that's doing phenomenally, one big thing that they need to work on when it comes to a weakness is picking up that slaying power and finding themselves better when it comes to making sure they're hitting their shots, winning their ones, and not just having to rely on team shots the whole time, or for the most part, when it comes to picking off players and on the other team. And I thought their search and destroy was very strong as well. I'm not sure if it was more so the map pick that ended up being ultimately the decider there, because I know both of us through coaching and being a parts of teams that had to do vetoes and whatnot, that if you get really bad maps put in front of you to play on,
You can still win. Get it out of your head. You can still win.
yeah.
Just depends on the team and what they want to do. I think if you can go into a series knowing, oh, we've got bad maps, yeah. I mean, listen, you can probably still have host. You can still literally have, host priority, side priority. You're forgetting all these factors. Maps play differently.
Yeah.
Not every team's great at the same map over and over again. A lot changes throughout the game, throughout the year. You'll see that.
Yeah, and the standout player for Divided We Fall, in my opinion, I have to give a big shout out to Tokyo once again. For really putting on a show there. Any other standout that you could name for the side of Team Divided We Fall, Connie?
Mm-hmm. But say again, sorry, I blanked for a second. I was looking at my own
I was saying Tokyo was my sort of standout pick for the side of Divided We Fall, and who would you say yours would be if you were to name a second?
The AR The AR. Oh, what's his name? Oh, I was saying it the entire time, but you know who you are. You were literally sat on top bedroom, literally gunning people.
Oh, El
off
Zorro.
that red
El
control.
Zorro.
El Zorro, yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. I like the player as well. So he's my guy. I mean, you can argue as well. Hoodie is a great player as well. They're getting pieces, but that's my preference.
Awesome stuff. Well, I'll make sure to break down the stats and in the off stream and get those MVPs and MVP of the series set up and shipped out to those of you guys that check out on ALG's Twitter and my Twitter, where we post those graphics. If you guys haven't already, make sure to drop your follow to Connie Eu's Twitter. The man is a myth and legend. He retweets and tweets some great content once in a while, I think tweets. Most of the time it ends up being just retweets, right, Connie? Yeah, exactly.
I'm just busy. I'm busy.
Very busy guy. And, well, thank you once again for making time for the Masters League in Cold War. What are your, just to end things off here before we move and make way for our next matchup on stream, you know, what are your thoughts in when it comes to this game moving forward? Do you have high hopes and high expectations that we can continue to see, you know, improvements in the competitive portion of the game itself, and we continue to see it go up from where it's at right now?
Yeah, you expect that. I mean, the amount of time you invest into it as a player and as a coach, that's almost a guarantee. Just a rule of thumb, an unwritten law. If you believe you achieve it.
Where do you place it amongst the other CODs you've played before in the past when it comes to competitive experience?
Top five. Only because this card has got a lot of issues that it needs to fix.
Okay,
so it's not just in game, but you're talking more or less about the structure. It needs to be restructured a little bit. We'd like to see control be a bit longer in the ticks, because you can literally win off speed ticks in this game, and it's quite jarring. Only a little bit though. Just a little tweak on the control. Maybe a few spawns. Maybe get rid of checkmate overall as a map. Yeah.
Okay, last tiny piece of a tip or a trick you could give our viewers here that are players, coaches, staff of all of these other amateur orgs here. Since you've been working with the cream of the crop amateur team or semi-pro team, I would like to say, in Singularity, what sort of information could you drop? Like informational help could you drop to any of these people here, you know, a part of these organizations, when it comes to improving their players and improving their teams, so we can see some higher level gameplay out of them and them start to become better, you know?
Commit to 4 people long term and have fun, especially the have fun part. If you're doing this when your head's in the bin all the time, you won't see a lot. And that goes for all levels of Call of Duty, not just the very top of the game, but you know, you're literally seeing players start out and they're just instantly like, oh, I hate this. So it's important to understand, you know, yourself how much you love the game. I know for a fact that I love this game to bits. The whole the team does. You just have to really have fun, and that's going to be my emphasis on that.
Well, you guys have heard it from Connie, the British guy, and you guys have heard the cast today from me for Trixel, Mr. 4T man himself. And I will be back. I'm not sure if Connie's going to be back for the next match tonight, but we do have coming up for you guys in a bit the matchup between Team Natural versus their opponents Divine Future, who 1-1, 2-0. Another sort of story like this one where it was a 2-0-1 team matchup. We'll see if the 1-1 team can upset the 2-0 one, just like we just saw in front of us today in this first matchup. We'll be back with you guys in a bit, so don't go anywhere except maybe to grab a drink of water, go to the washroom, you know what I mean. And we'll see you guys shortly.
Follow me, nights are getting shorter, lack of energy I'll conquer. In my soul, this is real. These nights are getting shorter. In my soul, this is real.
think of you and me. Don't wanna leave the world you see, and I will hold you down if love is still alive. It's all forgiven to my eyes. The tide has turned around. Just listen to the sound. Two hearts beating
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to more ALG Masters League action. This is week 2. We have had 3 games go by already so far this week. We had one that went by already earlier today. It was a hot 3-0 win for the side of Divided We Fall over KGK, King Grant Killers. And sure, with some of the body shots that went on by the KGK Kings Grant Killers, they might have looked like killers, but unfortunately, it was not at the right time at all, and they just did not pose a big enough threat to Divided We Fall to take away any maps, and let alone the entire series itself. Now, that one's in the books. Other matches this week that I've already concluded also in the books are the matchup between ADS Gaming and one of their rivals in their group, the team of Team Hi-Fi, and that one was a star-studded affair. Ended up going the distance of 5 maps, and well, it couldn't have offered us any more. It was a full-on package. In ADS Gaming, the reigning champions from last season were able to come away with the win. Was very, very, very close, I might add. In the middle of it, they were on the brink. 1 point in a hard point on map 4 was the difference maker in sending them home or keeping them alive with an undefeated streak and the top seed in the group. Now, another team contesting them for the top seed in their group, that would be Group A, is Team Natural, who will be facing off tonight against a strong opponent with a 1-1 scoreline, or 1-1 record in Divine Future, who were able to win their opening match last week as well. Now, Team Natural boasting a 2-0 record. They came off of a 3-1 and a 3-0 victory last week. Great work out of them. And over on the side of Divine Future, they're at a 50% map win rate due to the fact they won a 3-0 and lost a 3-0. Now, I'm going to look into seeing who they lost to. It was, in fact, the ultimate rival of ADS Gaming in this one right now, and that is Dawn of Chaos, the team atop Divine Future's group with a undefeated record. There are 3 teams right now with undefeated records: Dawn of Chaos, Team Natural, and ADS Gaming. Now, which team out of those 3 will be able to hold their undefeated record the longest? Only time will tell. But right now, this is a position that Team Natural is put in where they could be the first. They could be the first of those 3 to drop their undefeated record. Now, I am talking quite a bit here, and it's to give the players time to load up into the lobby, as we do not have everybody in here. But what more I have to offer and bring to the table is, of course, the map breakdown. Not sponsored by anybody yet, but maybe in the future. The map breakdown is the following: Moscow Hardpoint, S&D Raid, Garrison Control, Hardpoint, Map 4 if we get to it, Raid, and then the final nail in the coffin, potentially, if we go to that map 5, would be Miami Search and Destroy. And that was the final map in that best of 5 that we saw earlier on this week in yesterday's best of 5 thriller. And wow, what it could be like. We've had already so many different twists and turns and storylines and looks in the league, and it's only been the second week of action that we've gotten ourselves towards here, as the first week of action brought to us a whole heap of 3-0s and then one absolutely incredible reverse sweep. One of the first of its kinds in ALG League history. And it came to us in the opening week of the league. Way to set a bar high. And then to start week 2 off, we couldn't have had a more enthralling matchup of Hi-Fi and ADS Gaming. Definitely the match, I believe, of the week itself. And it fully delivered. Now, for Divine for Divine Future to deliver up against this Team Natural side, it's going to be a bit of a rough one. They're definitely not, their difference there is, it's a big sizable gap. We have Team Natural, who boast 2 players in the top 15 of the league so far. They have themselves Nismix and Eccentric. Eccentric, a very, very strong player, works well with both guns in hand, can play a flex when needed. Now looking over at the side of Team Divine Futures, they're sporting a very strong player out of Sweep, who really swept the league by storm the day that they debuted, where he was able to put up a masterful performance with his gun. And boy, let me just look back. I'm gonna give you guys a look back as we are still waiting for players to populate the lobby still. Give them their final instructions, and I'm gonna look back at the last 2 series on stream these guys had with you guys, peering through that little window. And those of you guys in chat tuned in, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. We have the action to come between these 2 teams that can be considered titans nonetheless in their groups. Those of you guys that are disappearing, it's getting later in the evening, and obviously delays are frowned upon by a lot of people. They don't like it, and they happen from time to time, but that's just how the cookie crumbles in online Call of Duty business. Now, I'm going to just quickly give them their information that they need so that they can get onto the right sides, and, further instruct them about how important it is that we get this show on the road for you folks at home. So give me a moment to do so. I'll be right back with the breakdown of the last 2 maps these guys played.
'cause I never knew it was my imagination. I never wanted to say what I said, I just wanted an explanation.
And no drop for you guys. Bad DJ I am. Well, we are just about ready to go, guys. I will quickly run you guys through the matchups these guys had last week on stream. And, yeah, quickly just run through that. We saw the side of Divine Future take down Team Spades really quickly in a 3-0 series. It was a pretty big flat thrashing as well. 250 to 28 in the hard point. The S&D 6-3, and then the 3-0 in the control. And I believe a fairly similar situation happened with Team Natural taking down Elemental Gaming. It was a 250 to 190 in the hard point. Search and Destroy 6-2, and then 3-0 in the raid. Now, we are ready to go. I have the teams here. The action's ready to pop off here. I'm just going to make sure to set everything up here and make sure to double check the score streaks here. Double check the score streaks here. Get everything working in order. And here we go. Score streaks are set. And starting the lobby is going to start loading through for the players to play on it. And those of you guys at home, if you haven't already, throw in those hashtag DF win for Divine Future or the hashtag NAT or natural win for Team Natural. And of course, my prediction for the series based off of prior knowledge of both these teams and how they play, I'm going to give this one over to Team Natural. I think with the roster that is very familiar to this league, under a different name, displayed very strong strategies last year, had a very strong performance last year as Vast Unity. Now, in this league, with an undefeated record, I definitely think they can win this series here. And yes, guys, you're asking, why is Jarvis back? He's my placeholder when people aren't here to cast and be my secondary. I always got Jarvis here. Jarvis always has my back. And well, Connie EU's stuff is still there, so you guys make sure to go drop him a follow if you want. Enjoy his SNG tweets, Singularity tweets, and well, we are going to be jumping straight into the action here. The game is upon us here. The action is upon us. Team Natural on the right, Divine Future on the left, Moscow being the map for choice to open things all out in hardpoint, and Sem will be our first victim of death from Team Natural to start things off as well. Now, looking at the action, it's going to be all Team Natural on this first point, but that's because Team Divine Future spawned out on the opposite side of things, and they've been just working to grab a hold of these spawns. And, well, it looks like there is some team killing going on here with some of these Divine Future players. It doesn't make sense why, as we were on the right sides here. I'm going to get this one restarted for you folks, and just bring it back to me here, as there will be a restart on this one. Not quite sure what the reason is behind it, but nonetheless, Team Natural, they will not be taking map 1 too quickly here, as we will be back with these players getting the next map loaded up to shortly, folks. Eccentric not playing, actually, for this side here. Very interesting stuff. I heard he wasn't available, so instead the side of Team Natural will be Laser, Nucleotide, Wellington, and Nismix. And for the side of Team Divine Future, we will be seeing Sweep, Sem, Ashes, and one other in Hope. who is a new player as well to the stream. So we got 3 players here. Well, actually, we got 2 players here making debuts on stream here with their rosters, with these under these organizations here, and the ALG Masters League. It's going to be interesting to see which of these 2 substitutes really brings to the table more and helps their team secure the victory, the maps, the series, everything in it as a whole. Now, those of you guys in chat that that are players, a part of other rosters and such, I'd love to hear what you guys think about watching matches of other teams in the league, how you guys feel like a lot of the other teams have been playing, and maybe what your predictions are on this series, and maybe who's going to stand out and who's going to stand on top of one another in this one. It could be, your players, it could be your it could be anything. As right now we have the side of Team Divine Future still waiting on their player to come back into the game. There was a reset. There was an explanation given by one of the players, and it's that there was a connection interruption for that player, and so a reset was needed from them. Now, I hope you guys are excited for this series to get underway. I hate for all of these delays, but they happen. Technology is an issue, and this is online stuff. So online stuff usually has the most, the highest of interruption and disruption rates when it comes to events and competitions. Now, those of you guys at home that aren't familiar with these teams, okay, I'm running low on energy, guys. My apologies. But we are going to be jumping straight into this map, and I'm going to hope that this action between these two reignites energy within me here. A spark, a fire, something. As we're seeing quite a few people in chat that I can recognize as players as well. AIM here, the villain of the league, so to speak, and Insanity, one of those players atop of the team of Hi-Fi that put in such a valiant effort to try to subdue the side of ADS Gaming, but have successfully subdued multiple opponents so far in the league. Team Natural, they're going to be starting off hot here, contesting this point, and they're going to be getting themselves on the board first with points as well. Though, amongst all this chaos and back and forth action, we're going to see some unfortunate stuff come from the side of Divine Future. They will lose the spawns for new and have to work to get them back here. They do have enough pressure and man advantage here on the right hand side where they can try to get these spawns back. But with the player up, Police Depot, that's Nucleotide there, overlooking a lot of stuff here. If you can take out these players wrapping around trying to get these spawns, then that can be very problematic for Divine Future and really set them back a lot, as this tends to be a very big money hill on this map for teams. And Sweep's going to get called out right there by Nucleotide, not get taken down. Instead, he will still live, stay alive, and thrive near that point, and even continue to distract Nismix and gets him killed ultimately. As 30 seconds left on this hill, this is still a lot of points that can be won by the side of Team Divine Future, and that can get them past their opponent's score and into the positives. As Team Natural, they are, instead of continuing to play for the scrap, will start the rotation over. And Laser, I love the spot he's in right here. It's going to catch Sem off guard, and Sem nearly catches Laser off guard with that 360 movement right there. 180, whatever angle you want to call it, and Sweep. He's going to start to move on forward, going 9-3 with this 3 streak as well. He gets tagged by that nade that will cause him to retreat. Number 7 on a nice pinch right here is Wellington. He can find himself 3, but no, he will only find 2, as Ashes will be able to turn him to ashes in the mix and in the response. Ash is going to drop in front right there at the hill threshold. Sweep, he's going to be making his way through the spot that Ashes once tried to tried to own and get cut down as well. Team Natural gonna be making this hill money for them. Sem gonna try to get into the hill from the front. He will get cut off from the player rotating through L. And that's going to be Wellington doing a good job to showcase his talents and top the team, the super sub so far for Team Natural. Doing a great work, 40 seconds of hill time, 10 and 8, most kills in the lobby. Eccentric might be getting replaced after this one here. As Divine Future, they're working hard to try to get into the points and to get time back in favor of themselves and ticking the noise that they want to hear. And Purple people are just having a rough go at things. Sweep gonna get caught. COD timing right there by Wellington. Wellington gonna maybe pop his head out of this little doggy door next to this point, and he's gonna find one kill. He's gonna retreat. Maybe got a little bit of info from the player here at Planters. Ash is gonna be right here behind the trash can, playing this spot on the hill. It's a great contest spot from this side of things. From this side of the hill. It's going to get him these points that are very important to helping his team get back into the mix and get back into a more of even footing. As that hill will end up breaking off and the new hill pops, it's going to be Team Naturals on the back foot when it comes to hill presence. And though they now have 2 players on it that are going to be grabbing hill time, uncontested for the time being. Hope is going to come in, slide up into the face of Wellington, take him down. That's going to be a sub-on-sub battle right there. As Hope leading the charge for Divine Future. In both these teams, the subs are looking super, and they're putting in the most difference in this one. Wellington going to get a bit of revenge on Hope right there. Hope is something Divine Future definitely have a lot of. And right now, it's allowing them to still stay within reach of this one. Once Team Natural accrued a pretty strong lead, Divine Future were able to bring things back. It's 110 to 117. Team Natural, they're going to be the ones to grab that scrap. But the initial time will go over to Divine Future. A different sort of way of things here than what we saw Tale of Tape, than what we saw the first go at this hill in the first rotation of it. It was Team Natural who were able to be spawning right back here with a player up top, Police Depot. This time around, we are going to see Divine Future, though, grab so much time. The money they are printing on here can buy them just about anything here. It definitely could go into my hands and help me purchase a way better mic than what I have at my disposal. But Team Natural, they will be grabbing that scrap, and with 3 people respawning over by that hill and only 1 player to play for new, that could be quite problematic. But with Faith, Wellington, the player to play for that hill time, is going to be there, and he is the man that has been leading the charge for the side of Team Natural, and he's helped his team get control of these spawns back here on the hill, and ultimately they will be the ones to grab the hill's initial time, which will help them accrue a larger lead once again. Spread it all out, pull it apart like making fresh noodles at a bakery. And well, Divine Future, they might not be baking anything right now, but they did make us some really beautiful treats earlier on in this one, and that's to be remembered and hopefully rewarded. But Nizmix is going to be able to find one right behind him, catching him out right behind the fountain. Nizmix is going to be watching right under the lip of it, and he's going to be able to find Ashes. This XM4, very dangerous weapon, arguably justified in the EU scene for a GA, but amongst the NA team, still something to be used. A gun that I myself enjoy using quite a lot. Might be because it makes me feel like I'm more of a pro with the way it helps assist me with my shots. And Sem gonna make a pro type move here on this wrap behind, and he's gonna distract those players from Team Natural on the point and get his team the point itself, and spawns back here. That's gonna be mass massive for his team, but Wellington, he's in. He's making a revenge play right here. He's going to push through. He's going to try to get some kills together. Nizmix and Laser are going to be working street right here. The Globe is going to be where Nizmix plays. Laser, he's going to be playing with this XM4 to try to kill more. He nearly died to the side, but Wellington had his back there, killing off Hope on checkers. And, well, Hope is still there for the side of Divine Future as they were able to grab a ton of time, much needed, on that last hill as it starts to tick through, becomes old, and the new hill becomes the current place of power and current place to be property for Team Natural. But Divine Future, they have gotten a divine message that has told them to take control of checkers, in which they have. Ash is going to be jumping straight into Plat, try to challenge Laser. Laser will take him down, and Wellington coming in from the side gets 2 big kills, clearing off that hill. That is checkers going the way of Team Natural. And Wellington 28 and 22, Nizmix 28 and 14. They're playing so well for the side of Team Naturals. I could be saying they're playing chess on top of that checkerboard. And Hope over on the side of Divine Future, he is embodying everything Hope and more for Team Divine Future. And is it enough to really have him carry his team? He's going to grab some very important kills, but also die and become an important kill for the side of Team Natural. And Team Natural, they will have spawns for reinforcements onto this hill. They continue to have the presence around it. The XM4 continues to sing across this one. But Divine Future, they will be able to strip Team Natural of the point and of those spawns, giving them some footing back in this one, and could even get them across the Team Natural scoreline and into something of a bit of problematic power for Team Natural to have to deal with, as a 5 streak in Hope's hands here. If he can extend that streak and get some score streaks to work with, this could really run out of hand here. Oh my god, winning a gunfight he had no reason of winning. Nuclear Tide, you needed to make those shots straight. You were too shaky, sir. 8 in the back here. Nizmix gonna cut down Hope, cut off his kill streaks that he could have got his team. Wellington gonna be on the point to cause some problems. Wellington gonna try to deal with Sem. He will only deal with him as Ash pops up, playing peekaboo on the point, taking him down. Divine Future, they are on the point, grabbing time, 10 seconds away from winning the opening map. They were the team behind for so much of this one. Team Natural were on the front foot, looking like they will be on the back foot going into the search and destroy, losing the first map of this one, coming back as Team Divine Future to win it 250 to 215. What a close opening map in the series. A lot of holes on both these teams in their gameplay in the hard point, but in the end, the holes in the latter half of this map, of this mode, were exploited better by the side of Team Divine Future, and they were able to get on the board early in this series. 1-0 is the map record between the two in this series. There's more to come in this one, because right now I'm just gonna be adjusting here the stuff, the way it looks in game. And those of you guys at home, maybe take this moment to get up, maybe stretch a little bit. Those of you that have sat through so much Call of Duty action today, from the CDL, from potential EEG, if you were watching the European action that I was producing earlier this evening or afternoon, and if you were here along for the ride and haven't gotten up from the last match that happened earlier this evening in the Masters League, we'll make sure to get up and stretch a little bit, because this is a hot series. I'm going to be back in just a moment after I get things sorted to talk to you guys once again right before the next map in this one. Next map, folks, you guys will see in front of you guys. It's going to be that all-important map to S&D. My apologies. Map to S&D on Raid. Let's get it poppin'.
When I close my eyes before going into Universum, I think about the moment we were hoping wouldn't end, because I never knew it was my imagination. I never wanted to say what I said, I just wanted an explanation. Never wanted.
Welcome back, guys. We have ourselves map number 2 coming up here. This is going to be Raid Search and Destroy. It is loading on in. Those of you guys in chat that have been sticking around through the little break, guys, drop those hashtags to support the teams that are competing here in this Search and Destroy, because they want to hear it from you. They want that support. I myself gonna be on the boat for Team Natural to take this one. I feel like they're a stronger Search and Destroy team, and just based off of past performances, and well, starting off, the gates are looking open for the side of Team Natural as they are able to get that first blood 2-piece coming in from Nismix. Things get back and forth, but Team Natural end up staying on top with that life lead on the map. They're able to clear out this one, and they're able to take round number 1 in the books to go their way. Switching sides, we will see ourselves with Team Natural on the offense. This time around, Team Divine Future on the defense. No plant came to fruition for the offense team last time. No defuse had to come out for defense. We'll see if we get into a situation that could require either of those to come to fruition. Right now, there is going to be a push coming through from Wellington. He's going to be playing Ring Around the Rosie with Hope. Hope gets a kill before getting taken down. That's going to be a first blood over to Divine in this round. 1-1 first bloods in the series on this map. Divine Future are going to be up in lives on the map with a nice kill that came in the background from Sweep. That's going to put them up 3-2. Wellington still alive on a 2 streak. Going to be going all the way to the back with the bomb here. Needs to win this big fight. If he did not win it, that bomb being down in enemy territory would have been very terrifying, as it's going to be a 1 versus 2 over at Art. Wellington will be the last alive. His teammate dies off. Ash and Sweep are going to go, and they're going to watch B for that bomb plant. But Wellington, one step ahead of them, gets the bomb down over at A. He's going to be chilling pool steps, looking for these players. And those players are just going to be holding hands. We're going to see Ash and Sweep hold hands around this bomb, getting ready to go towards it. One of them in Tiki, one of them at the bomb itself. Wellington going to decide to go on a wrap. The player is going to play for the defuse. The defuse is going to come in just in the seconds. They got the player off the map. The defuse wasn't a ninja. Ended up being clear as day. Like playing on Raid itself, that sky is clear. Oh me, oh my. only the weather was like that in Canada where I'm from, I would be out there enjoying, frolicking amongst the flowers, so to speak. And Team Natural, they tie things up 1-1. Divine Future, Ashes, and Sweep. They're the ones to close things out in that round. Hope is going to get the first blood there. 2 first bloods for Team Divine Future so far in the series. Start things off good in this round number 3. We are going to see if we can get an answering kill to come out from the defense. It looks like they're just going to stay backed up here looking for that pick. But so much real estate over by Raid allows for a free bomb plant to come through from Sweep. And Nizmix peeking at the wrong time will lead to his death. The player playing Rock is going to be... It's going to be important that that player playing Rock gets it. The action still to come through. I think I lost audio from the game itself. I'm not sure if you guys can hear any audio on your end of things. I'm not quite sure why the audio got turned down. But Divine Future, they are able to win the round nonetheless in the end. Playing some really good spots. Watching that bomb, different angles where the attackers, not necessarily the attackers, the defenders, would go for the retake and for the defuse. We're able to cut them all down. So we see ourselves with Team Natural on the back foot in this one. Divine Future grab themselves a lead. One round difference. Sweep with a 3 streak as well. Prime time to go on to him. But Team Natural, they're making a really big beeline over to A. Wellington finds a big kill at pool steps. Draws attention to himself. Nizmix grabs 2 kills over by A. That real estate's opened up. And Team Natural end up taking that round. What is up with these quick rounds you see from Team Natural or Team Divine? You know, we'll have a really slow round like the round before, but then you'll see such a fast one. And this is the second time around we've seen a 2-piece come out of Nizmix on a Search and Destroy round. The first bloods are evened at 2-2 right now in this one. Team Natural also tying it up 2-2. We see Divine Future with an opportunity to potentially go ahead with an offense. They were able to play an offense very smartly and successfully over at B last time around. It's going to be down to a 2 versus 3. They flushed out Nucleotide, and he ended up dropping in an unfortunate spot in the middle. It was like gassing out bugs in your cellar. Nizmix, he's going to be left alone in the 1 versus 3, able to take down 1. He's going to have to take down the last 2 here. He might get spotted out by the van. He's going to take some shots there. The 2 players, 1 laundry, 1 van, could take him out. Ashes will drop here, and he's going to retreat here a little bit, find a different angle of approach and attack, but he decides to overstep his bounds and gets taken down. Divine Future showing that they want to keep that lead. They want to retain being the only team to have a lead in this one. And they go back ahead. Tit for tat here. Back and forth. Divine goes up around. Neutral ties. Natural ties. Divine wins. Natural wins. Divine wins. If the pattern continues, then we will see ourselves with Team Natural getting the next round win here. And they will start things off with First Blood. This is going to keep First Bloods at 3-3 evened out. Nizmix going to see if he can catch any of these players. He will catch a glimpse of Sem. I'm not quite sure. Hope for sure here. Not sure he knows Sem's around a quarter. He must know now after Sem gave his position away here. And there we go. The shots come back and forth. Laser, last one alive for the side of Team Natural. And he doesn't check his left. He tries to run away with that XM4 out and ends up dying. This stops the pattern from continuing. And Divine Future win another round of S&D here, putting themselves up with a round, 2 rounds cushion here at 4-2. my prediction of going with Team Natural not looking too good right now. They're looking like they are missing that search and destroy prowess and presence that would be on the table if they did have Eccentric. Wellington not being the super sub, living up to the super sub expectations he had for himself going into this map after his really strong presence in the hard point. His team narrowly lost. Divine Future, their sub, doing decently at 5 and 6, tied for second most kills on his team in the winning side of things. He's going to be alive here as Team Natural and Divine. They trade kills back and forth. It's going to be a 2 versus 2. The bomb, free real estate over at the A bomb site, and Team Natural, they're going to start working together as a team to retake this one and to find an opportunity, an opening to defuse it. As Laser, he's going to be gingerly playing around pool steps here. He's going to shoulder it around here. Ash is going to play the audio cue spot in the Tiki. Going to wait around for some shots to come at him. He's going to move around. Does he spot him? Laser. Does he know the players at Tiki? Ash comes out of his hiding spot. Oh my lord, the shots at the water, not at the player. Get those on target. 5-2, Ash. Peekaboo comes up, kills Nucleotide. Last one left. One shot as well. Laser gonna die to a little hip fire action right there. And there we go. We see ourselves with map point and a 2-0 lead in this series on the line. Divine Future could put a big nail on the door here of this series, potentially closing it shut on Team Natural. But Nismix, when he gets a 2-piece on the round, it ends up being a really big win for the side of Divine Future. Every round win that they've gotten so far in this series has had a Nismix 2-piece in it. And Team Natural win a much needed round. This is where the comeback needs to come from the side of Team Natural. One round at a time, guys. They get another on the board. This shortens that gap of a lead. But still, they need to get a kill. More rounds on the board here to tie things up. They need 2 more to tie it up, and then a third to win this map and tie up the series at 1-1, forcing a definite map for Laser and Nismix, both the top of the table for Team Naturals. Over at Divine Future, they're all sharing in the wealth of success and progress. Unfortunately, Hope sporting a negative right there. Sam gonna get a kill and trade it out, but Hope will be there for another kill in the mix. This is a life lead for Divine Future. Wellington needs to find a pick here fast. He will get shots onto one, get the kill confirmed. This is a 2 versus 2. We will see Divine Future look to pull the duo of Team Natural over to A bomb site. Nismix and Wellington, they're doing a good job in making it, running over to money. They will have that info that the team is in there. Who will peek Wellington here? Sweep might have to come out here and chow it. Or will they play for a trade here? Wellington holding this angle here. This is keeping them pinned in here. He needs to get that kill. He won't. The pressure is on. The shots are too shaky. And Divine Future close out the round and ultimately the map 6-3. They played patiently. They traded. They chowed together. They were there for the trade. If one of them dropped, the other one was alive. They needed, and for the side of Team Natural, they needed that trade to come through, to give the last player there an opportunity, a chance for him to clutch up in a 1 versus 1. That duo on the side of Team Divine Future played that position, predicament they were in perfectly, and we're able to come away with that map win ultimately for the team. That's a 2-0 lead in the series for Divine Future. Now, we have seen before, I told you guys at the beginning of this series, when I was preluding and I was explaining a bit about the past stuff that's gone on so far in the league, that we have seen a reverse sweep. They're not impossible. They're not very likely, but it has happened already. We've seen what needs to come from a team that's down 0-2 in the series and what they need to do to get to execute and get themselves to come back from being down. Now, the side of Team Natural, they need to regroup, they need to regain, because they have the skills and abilities to bring to the table to get a map win, and ultimately they could, once they get going and once they get momentum to come back into their side of things, back into their possession, into their hands, they could potentially get this same series win. Now, is it very likely in this moment? Not very. Definitely favoring the side of Divine Future. And hey, if I was to predict a control, I'd probably say Divine Future take this one 5-3. 5-2. Sorry. I'd say they take it map 5, 3-2. Now, so far so good for Divine Future. More work needs to come from the side of Team Natural if they are to extend this series and bring us to a crazy potential reverse sweep in map 5. Now, I will do the technical stuff that I got to do behind the scenes. Just in a little break, we'll be back, guys, shortly for map number 3, the potential last one of the series and last one of the day in week 2, day 2 of the Masters League with ALG League.
Why do I feel like I linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm. Now we won't go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got a few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm.
is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. Team Natural still on the right side, guys, without a map win in their possession. Anything in the brightness of there. And they are fighting tooth and nail now to stay alive in this series up against Divine Future. As Divine Future have looked so strong up against their opponents here of Team Natural, and Divine Future have a 2-0 map lead in this series, can close out the entire series as a whole on this control in a 3-0 fashion that would stun a lot of people, in my opinion, because you're looking at Divine Future coming from a 1-1 scoreline in their group to take down a undefeated team, one of the only undefeated teams in the season right now in the league. The last ones up that are undefeated, and they're doing it quite well. They're really holding it down strongly, and it would be the second underdog defeat taken today on stream. Wellington, the sub coming through for Eccentric, who is celebrating his sister's birthday. Happy birthday to her. And Team Natural, they're maybe feeling like they wish they had him back, especially in that search and destroy that I believe they definitely could have won. They could have used his prowess and his presence. Now, Team Natural, with a task ahead of them to win a control on Garrison here, they are gifted defense to work with, which can be a big sigh of relief when you have control, because this is where you start. You got to get around on the board early. That helps you stop the momentum that your opponents have in the series. And so far, so good. They've been able to stop a lot of these advancements over to these points for captures, and the life lead that they've accrued is really strong. And Team Natural are able to win the opening round of this control. They get on the board early in the control, and I can't stress how important it is, once again, to be down 2-0, to stop and shock that momentum as soon as possible. And this was Nizmic's opening sort of routes and kills that he was able to grab at the beginning of this one, and this was a strong and very well played route that he took to get those kills in the kill cam. Now, Divine Future, your team ahead, have defense now to work with, the side that is very much more favorable, and Team Natural, they are ahead by, difference is about, I believe, 6. I would say about 6 or 7 deaths. Divide the two at the beginning of this round. So Divine Future, they need to bring something to the table here to continue to compete with this side of Team Natural for this defensive 5th round that ultimately decides things quite often, more than not, in control on Garrison. And hot off the press, Team Natural see themselves behind in the lives, and Hope and Ash, they dispatch Laser and Nucleotide. Great work out of those two. Hope being a glimmer of hope that's been shining like a star in the map so far for Team Divine Future. Super sub, so to speak, that I say time and time again. Wellington also performing very well, slaying proficiently for the side of Team Natural. But Team Natural needs to get onto this point. They need to stop this time. They need to get something going for themselves. Laser could run all the way across this bridge to A to grab some more time. Instead, he just stands there like a statue, gets cut down. And there we go. This is probably not enough time for Team Natural to get back. The life disparity is a bit closer. It is closer than what we saw before, but with those quick 2 kills at the end coming in from Hope, definitely see Divine Future up right now in the life, or the death differential by 1. So this is close. Going into round number 3, it's a 1-1 scoreboard in this control. Both the teams on the board, which is great. And going into round 3, defense for Team Natural, this is must needed. If they win this one, we go to a round 5 that is very, very important for them, seeing that this is their last map potentially of the series if they lose it. Now, Divine Future, they will get the first blood here from sweeps. Up above is Ashes, and Hope gets on the board as well. 3 kills come for the side of Team Natural, and that gives them so much room to work with on the hill, on these hills and on the map. Sem's going to start to distract players over by Satellite Hill over at A. Wellington's going to be looking to try to distract over at B. The 1 tick of progress will be accrued by sweeps on the hill, but now where there was light, there is now darkness for Divine Future, as they all got cut off these hills, and the pressure that they had on middle map, it ran out, and now we start to see Team Natural push forward into some of the real estate that Divine Favor had once owned, and this is going to be big. The defense starting to get on a bit of a roll here. The spawn trapping coming in. The kills come through for Laser and Wellington. These players on the side of Team Natural are being super oppressive. Nismix on a streak gets that one taken down. If we see kill streaks accrued here, they could be very large factors and play such a big key role in having one of these teams win in an offensive round. It'd be very instrumental here. But Nucleotide, he's going to hold strong the line of defense here by B point. Sweep, he's going to nade out over at Lights before jumping onto the hill. The life around that hill, all orange. And the shots come through. The team kill comes through. Team Natural win this one by the skin of their teeth, as we saw just a millisecond of time stopped the side of Divine Favor from sliding onto that point. The knees just not slippery enough for the side of Divine Future to get onto that hill and stop that clock with a second left. Would have been more than a mile, would have been a mountain to climb, though, to work that through that round with a second left, a millisecond left. Team Natural on the board with a larger lead in this control. This is looking a lot more promising for them out of the last 2 maps. Looking like they could definitely, this is their map to lose from here on in and here on out. Wellington, Hope gets 2 big kills. Wellington trades the 2 back, answers the sub on the other side. Wellington, Hope, he's going to continue to live rent-free in the heads of these players of Team Natural. He's going to get 2 big ones. Send Team Natural back into their spawns, packing. He's going to get another one. This is 5 streak. This is becoming very problematic for the side of Team Natural. Oh my lord, Laser, you can't. That's unforgivable. You can't give him those kills. Wellington, he's going to move up into the B point to try to get more. Still on the board is Hope with 6. He's going to look to grab more. He's going to shoot 1. Oh my god, cut down Wellington. He's going to be able to eat very comfortably here. Throws down one of his streaks. This is going to be the cruise missile, and he uses those shots from it. That's not something you want to see here. That is GA's being broken, and well, Hope will be able to get kills with that cruise missile in the spawn. This is catastrophic for the side of Team Natural. There's practically no hope left for them. Hope is everything that Divine Favor has, and then some, as they are going to grab this much needed tying round in this control. And with the life disparity being as it is, this will be a defense that has been earned by the side of Divine Future. Those streaks came and became the difference maker of this one. This has got it. They have got to be the daggers that most likely will lead to some very fatal bleeding out of the side of Team Natural, but there is hope. There is another round to work with, but they will have to do something that has not been done so before in this control, and that's win an offensive round. What a challenge to tackle, a task to tackle, a challenge to conquer, a mission to mount for Team Natural. All of their players going negative right now. They're down bad. Nucleotide, a player running right below his feet, and that's going to be Hope. Not Hope, Ashes. Getting a big kill here. Hope trying to track down Nucleotide, but Nucleotide turns on him, getting the two-piece. This could start a chain reaction of positivity and momentum go the way of Team Naturals. They will grab a big kill right there. Hope pinned in that corner. Nucleotide shooting him down. Wellington gonna push into the face of those players. Wellington grabs two big ones. Hope gonna be looking to grab two big ones right back. Well, this is a 3-streak. Hope on 37. On the brink of 40 here. Hope will help his team get another one. Taking down Nismix. One of the known problematic players for Team Natural. Divine Futures. Hope in a kill streak again. Deja vu in front of us. Nismix gonna get cut down 6 in a row. One more to get himself streaks once again. Hope gonna grab Laser. Get that streak on the board. He's gonna play around trying to grab Wellington, but Wellington will grab the kill right around back. 14-18, still doable for the side of Team Natural, but the time isn't really doable. Ash gonna get a really important kill on the board there. Nismix gonna need to touch a point. Doubt he will be able to. The rest of his teammates gonna be too oppressed and too much time that they need to get to track all the way towards the point. That's gonna be Divine Future putting in a extremely strong 3-0. What a day for the underdog in the ALG League here, as they were able to bring up both the teams that were underdogs in their series, able to deliver the just desserts to the team above. These 1-1 teams are not ones to be treaded on lightly, as they were able to send down the undefeateds. That was KGK losing their undefeated record, taking that belt off. Now, Divine Future just absolutely stripping Team Natural of all the clothes on their back. You know, unfortunate situation. They had to play without Eccentric. But nonetheless, a sub came in for their side as well, and they were able to just come down and destroy, really pipe down their opponents. Hope, definitely the outlier in this one. Deserving of a starting spot on that Divine Future roster, in my opinion, with the performance he put down here. And if he does not see one and he continues to maintain a sub spot, that's just gotta be something suspicious for me and a lot of people in chat to look at. As Team Natural, they lose this one 3-0. Divine Future take the win. Little reflection time right now. You know, you're looking at first off with Team Natural. You saw, once again, you see some great power and presence coming out of their players, but just not able to be up to par with what Divine Future could bring. Their hard point looking like they're better of the two. Obviously, you know, winning defense is one thing, but winning a defense so strongly, as we saw it time and time again by Divine Future, that was just the difference maker. There was Hope. You know, it sounds very corny, me saying, you know, that Divine Future had more hope, had stronger hope than their opponents. They had hope and their opponents had none. That sounds very corny and cheesy, but that's exactly what ended up being the difference maker, a player named Hope. And well, Team Natural gonna go back to the drawing board, get ready for their match, one more match for them this week. Hopefully recover things and keep their record above water and not tie it all off this week and have to have an 0-2 week. Would be unfortunate stuff for them. Now, their star player, I felt, was their sub. He came in hot for their respawns. Their search and destroy, you know, really tight amongst their players in terms of arguing who was the stronger player for them. Now looking at Divine Future, very promising potential for the squad up against. I'm excited to see what they could bring up against the team on their in their bracket, not bracket, in their pool. That is Dawn of Chaos, looking like a very strong team to compete against. And you know, power to them. They put in a very powerful performance here, dominating performance against the side of Team Natural, and I gotta say that right now it looks like they have a very good, firm grasp on how to play. You know, both the Garrison and the Raid. The Moscow was an interesting turn of events as well. I feel like their S&D on Moscow looked very good as well, but I feel like they definitely could have played that one better. The Search and Destroy, probably their weakest link out of the three. Definitely when you look at it on paper, it was a lot closer to call. We could have definitely have seen a fourth map, and unfortunately didn't see it. The first map didn't go the way of Team Natural. Would have been interesting to see what it would have been like if they would have gotten to that fourth map and had to play it out. The man of the map, or the man of the series for me, has got to be Hope. Without a doubt, for the set of Divine Future. I will go back into the stats obviously tonight when I look over these matches that happened today and yesterday, and figure out, you know, who are the players of the series, the MVPs of this series that have passed passed before this point, and give you guys that update on Twitter. The graphic coming soon, hopefully tomorrow, if not the next. Now, this has been me casting the 2 matches of Master League tonight, producing a bunch of EEG earlier on, and producing and casting today as well in the Masters League once again. Tired Chase. Sorry you guys had to deal with my tired ass through this series, but I can't appreciate you guys enough for tuning in, showing love, showing your presence in chat, keeping conversations going, keeping this community afloat here at the ALG Masters League. All of you guys' participation is definitely much appreciated. Now, thank you guys once again. GG's. Have a good evening, have a good night, and make sure to follow both me, Connie, and the ALG League on Twitter and other socials to stay up to date with what we're up to. I'm up to some crazy stuff coming up in ALG. It's only getting wilder as we're into week 2. Not even at a later stage in the league. We're already getting some fantastic action. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more action. One match coming to you guys tomorrow, and then more to come following that one. Stay safe, everybody. Have a good evening.